Hey everyone, welcome back. Whether you have found us on YouTube or on Spotify, welcome wherever you're listening or watching from. I wanted to dive into something powerful. How to shift your reality without any delay. It isn't about just success in one area of your life, but it's about success in your business, your personal relationships, your finances, every bit of everything that makes you who you are. I personally have experienced massive shifts in my life in all these areas. And I'm going to show you how I did it. And I did it without waiting for the quote unquote perfect moment, and how you can do it too. Now, I want to take you down the journey of my life and go through some scriptures that have helped guide me along the way. I've talked about my journey before, and I'm going to continue to talk about it because the best example I know outside of Jesus is myself. Because here's the truth: life is about growing, but it's also about faith. And without the right focus, we can delay the blessings and the success that's meant for us, that's meant for you and I. So when we look at the importance of vision, we've talked about this in previous videos and podcasts. Let's start with one of the most important lessons I've learned. Your vision determines your reality. Proverbs 28:18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Now, this might sound heavy, but it's real. Without vision, you can only get stuck. You cannot feel like you're moving forward. You're there. But when we start to feel that there's something more, we can continue to move. In life, when we feel stuck, we can feel like everything is slipping away. This is especially true. And today I'm going to talk about business, and it is especially true in business. There was a time when I wasn't clear on what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go. I thought success was just going to happen because I was working hard. And here's the thing: effort without vision is just movement, not progress. And if we're not moving forward, we're not doing any good. It wasn't until I created a clear vision for my business that things really started to shift. When I when I launched my business, Anderson Business Group, I was trying to be all things for all people. I was afraid to narrow down my focus because I thought if I get too specific, I might miss out on opportunities. But that's where I got everything wrong. When you don't have focus on finding your vision, you end up manifesting chaos and confusion within yourself, and that it goes on past you. I had to get a crystal clear vision about who I wanted to serve, what services I wanted to offer, and what kind of impact did I want to make. Once I did that, doors started opening. I started noticing things that I never noticed before. It was like the universe was saying, or let me take it back. It was like God was saying, I've been waiting for you to focus, and now I can bless you. Financially, the same thing happened. I spent years worrying about money. I grew up in a household when I was very young where we were scraping by. Scarcity was the normal mindset, and I inherited that view into my adulthood. Even when I started making more money and we could pay our bills, I still felt like I was barely surviving. I felt like it was never enough. It wasn't until I created a vision for my future, really sat down and mapped all this out, that my finances started to make sense. I started to see myself having wealth. You see, the Bible tells us to write our vision down, make it plain on the tablets so we can run who needs to read it. I had to write down my financial goals. And as soon as I got intentional about them, the scarcity mindset that I had, the fear mindset that I had, started to fade away. My fears started to be overcome. Now, let's talk about fear. I've spoken about this a lot because fear was a huge part of my journey. And honestly, it sometimes still is something I have to overcome daily. But the turning point for me was realizing that fear was the only thing standing between me and my vision. Between what I wanted and success was fear. And here's the thing, fear came in many forms. It wasn't always loud and obvious. Sometimes fear was small and a quiet voice in the back of my head just whispering, "You're not ready. What if it doesn't work?" Does that sound familiar? Are you hearing those voices that aren't always shouting but whispering? Fear showed up in my business in the form of self doubt. I remember launching my business. I was terrified. What if no one responded? What if nobody wanted what I had to offer? What if I invested all this time and effort and energy and got nothing in return? I almost did not go through with it. But then I remembered that in 2 Timothy 1:7, it says, "For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind." This verse became my anchor. I had to remember and remind myself that fear is not from God. And that if I let fear win, I will never see the fruit of everything I'm doing. In my personal life, fear showed up in my relationships. My wife, Karen, and I, we've been married now for almost 18 years. And I'm going to tell you something, it hasn't always been easy. There was a time in our relationship where communication was extremely hard. And it wasn't because she spoke Spanish and I spoke English, it was fear. I was afraid to fully express my needs. I was afraid to fully express my thoughts and my feelings. And her, on her side, she was full of fear as well and had the same thing. We both had baggage from our past, from our childhood, from our life experiences, and it made vulnerability feel unsafe. But here's the thing, relationships cannot grow when fear is in the driver's seat. We had to decide to face our fears together. And when we sat down and we laid everything out on the table in front of each other and we were vulnerable, this decision didn't just give us a deeper connection, but it saved who we were and allowed us to build a stronger relationship amongst each other and grow closer. And we, when I look at it, our focus, what we focus on, if we focus on fear, that's going to be our reality. What I've learned, that whatever you focus on, you magnify, you make it bigger. And this is true in every aspect of your life. If you focus on your lack, you'll get more of it. If you focus on your failures, you'll stay a failure. But when your focus goes to the possibilities, to growth, to solutions, you'll start to see your mindset shift and things change. In my business, I used to focus on everything that could go wrong. If it could be imagined, I was thinking about it. I would stress over the potential failure, clients rejecting me, missing opportunities. But once I shift my focus to the possibilities, how could I grow? The clients that I could serve, the impact I can make, my reality shifted to. I started attracting opportunities that aligned with my vision. I started to see my business grow in ways I never thought. Jesus told us in Matthew 6, the eye is the lamp of the body. If the eye if the eyes are healthy, your whole body can be full of light. What your eyes are focused on is what you're attracting. So, what are your eyes focused on? Where is your attention? If you're constantly looking at your problems, you'll remain stuck in them. But if you focus on the solution and the future that you want to create, your life will reflect that light. In my life, the shift in focus was equally important. When Karen and I decided to focus on our future and what we wanted in our marriage, instead of dwelling on the issues, then things started to change. It didn't happen overnight, but little by little, as we focused on our shared vision together and the life that we wanted, we began to express more joy, experience more joy, connection, growth together. We learned that what you water will grow. If you water weeds, weeds will come up. If you water fruit trees will come. Whatever you plant is what you're going to get. So we made a conscious choice to water the good in our relationship. Financially, the same principles apply. I used to focus on my lack, on how much debt I had. And trust me, I had a lot, and how little money was coming in. But when I shifted my focus to abundance, things began to change. Now I'm not talking about some magical overnight wealth, some fly by night investment, but there were noticeable difference on how I approached my finances. I started looking for ways to create more income. I began managing my money better, and I worked on developing a healthier relationship with my money. And slowly but surely, it began to improve. I stopped focusing on scarcity and I focused on abundance, on what could be possible. Okay. Now, there is action that needs to be done. This is the part where a lot of people get stuck. We have a vision, we know we need to subtract that fear from our lives. We've shifted our focus, but then we delay. We wait for the perfect time. We wait until we feel ready, till we're prepared. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something I've learned through my own experiences. There is no perfect time, and you'll never be 100% ready. The best time to act is now. Now is the best time to act. James 2:17 says, faith by itself, if it doesn't have work, it is dead. You can have all the faith in the world, but if you're not willing to take action, nothing is going to change. I remember the first time I took that big leap of faith in my business. I didn't have all the answers. I had very few, if any. I didn't have everything figured out and lined up, but I took action. And that action set everything in motion. Financially, I had to take action by making a budget, by setting goals, and by investing in myself and in my business. It was not easy, but action brought the change. Personally, I had to take action in my relationship, with my wife, with my kids, with my family. Karen and I made a commitment to do the work, to communicate better, to seek help when we needed it from each other, and to never let fear stop us from moving forward. This agreement that we had allowed us to get closer and better and to have a more intimate emotional connection. So you've heard me say it numerous amount of times that vision minus fear equals success. Everything I've talked about today boils down to that simple equation that our vision, subtracting our fears, removing our limiting beliefs and what we can do and who we are, allows us to have success. When you have a clear vision and you remove that fear from the equation, you are left with nothing but success. There is no possibility but success. This isn't just something I talk about, it's something that I live every single day. It's something that I put in my business, in my relationships, in myself, in my business, in my personal life, in my finances. This equation helps me shift my reality without delay. And I want you to experience the same thing. Take action today. Get clear on your vision. Remove your fear, remove your limiting beliefs, and most importantly, focus on what you want. Do it without delay. Don't wait till it's the perfect time. There's never a perfect time, there's only now. So, thank you for being here. I hope this message resonates with you. And if you found it helpful, share, like, subscribe, and send it to somebody else. Have a blessed one, and until next time. If you're ready to take the next step in unleashing your potential or changing your mindset in your business, great news. I've got 2 books that can help you out. The links for ordering them are in the description below.